What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're all doing well today. Today, I'm very excited to be doing my full review of the Oknife Drever. This one here has a 3.49 inch N690 blade steel, sheep's foot pattern with a 4.5 inch G10 scale. Really nice G10. It looks like it's a wood grain and it feels really good. It's not grippy at all. It's a very smooth G10, but it's very tactile, so it has like a real grip to it. Really nice. Really surprised by this knife. Overall length 7.99 inches and a claimed weight of 3.42 ounces, and we're going to check that right now. So that's where it sits. Let's there we go. So claim weight 3.42, coming in more like 3.5 ounces. Yep, so it zeroed back out. We're good there. So definitely really close to the size that they claimed, if I can get my scale out of the way here. So really, again, just a really nice knife. Has thumb studs for deployment. Reverse flicks works really nice. Very drop shut action. It has the flipper tab, which I really like. And it has the finger choil, which works really good with the sheep's foot to get up there and to be able to do any type of push cuts. And then for your pull cuts, it does poke a little bit into the hand to pull up, but really nice overall. I'm really surprised by Oknife's first knives, but I think that's because I've heard that Kizer actually makes these for Oknife. So it's really manufactured by Kizer. Oknife designs it, gets it in-house, and then checks to make sure that everything's tuned. So you can see here, this knife has remained centered since I picked it up. Really good centering. The materials look really nice. Kizer seems to be doing a pretty good job with their N690. I like the blue thumb studs and the blue pivot are really nice touches. I think it probably looks a little bit better on the black handled, but I wanted to get the blue. I just really like the way that this pops. Has an inset flat screw deep carry pocket clip. I love this type of pocket clip because it lays flat. So when you get it in hand, you're really not feeling that against the hand. It feels really nice. It is milled out. Actually, let me leave it open to show you that on both sides. So you have really small milling on the liner lock side, and then you have very large milling on the show side. It is not reversible, so I don't know why they decided to go with a non-reversible deep carry pocket clip. Maybe they wanted the show side to look nicer, but I think at this price point, they should have reversed it. I think that's a miss on this knife, and I believe that it's not quite the knife that people are picking up because they want it to show well. Like, they're not trying to, impress anybody with this knife. This knife is definitely, in my opinion, a work knife, and it is right at the top end of the budget. I've moved my budget knives for 2022 up to the $70 mark because there's so many good knives up in that $70, $75 price range. So I actually might make it $80 for 2022, and I know that's high, but I think extreme budget is going to be under 50, and budget's going to go all the way up to probably 80 bucks this year. And I think, again, that's because there's some really good knives out there, even if it's the only one you're buying, that justify that price point, especially if it's something that you want that's going to perform well and last a long time. That action is really good. The pass-through, I really like that they kind of contoured this out and they put a nice amount of jimping, so you can come in and you can do the push to this, or you can do the slide. I like to do, now I've learned some of my knives you actually have to do it that way. I like to kind of rest my thumb down on it first, slide it over and get it going. That also keeps my finger out of the blade path. And as you can see, that's really nice action, and you can tell this is not loose. I'm rocking it. No blade play, no blade lash. Kizer does a really good job on their fit and finish. All right, let me go ahead and do some comparison knives, then we'll do some comparable knives. First up on the comparison knives is going to be the Spyderco Yojimbo 2. This one here has the coated CPM 20CV blade steel, 3.125 inches, with a 4.5 inch G10 handle, 7.5 inches overall, and coming in at 4 ounces. So really kind of close in the size of this EDC knife. I think this is really good comparison, because when you come down and you look at like the actual cutting surface from the pivot, you can see that you're kind of getting the same cutting edge when you actually get past the finger choil. So really comparable. However, the Oknife is a little bit more slender and has a little less presence when you think about carrying it in the pocket. I'm going to adjust this down just a touch, because I think I have it up too high here. I think that angle's a little bit better for you guys. Next up is going to be my Spyderco PM2. This one here has a 3.44 inch S45 VN blade steel. Trying to line those pivots up for you guys. It has a 4.81 inch G10 handle. These are the contoured Flytanium handles. Overall length 8.25 inches, and coming in at a very lightweight 3.75 ounces. So if you have either of these knives, you can tell that the Drever is like right there, right around that 8-inch mark. So it is a full-size knife, but it does have that slender profile. So the carry presence is going to be very, very, very nice for a pocket carry. Let me go ahead and get these out of the way. We'll do the side profile comparison so you can see the width next. I'm going to go ahead and bring out my crossbar lock knives. First up is going to be the Benchmade Bug Out, which has a 3.24 inch S30V blade, has 4.22 inch G10 handles with an overall length of 7.46 inches, so a little bit shorter, weighing in at 2.3 ounces with the G10 scales from Flytanium on there, so a little bit lighter. So you can tell the Bug Out's just a tad bit smaller. The other knife that I like to bring out is going to be the SIG K320 made by Hogue Knives. Really nice work knife here. This is the type of knife, these are the type of knives, in my opinion, that you buy not to modify, but to either carry and work, or just as a duty knife that you're not really trying to show off your collection, unlike the Bug Out down there, which has been highly customized by me. But this has a 3.5 inch S30V blade with a 4.5 inch polymer handle, overall length 8 inches, weighing in at 4.16 ounces. So you can see the SIG has more presence top to bottom, whereas the Drever is more like the Bug Out, where it has a slender profile, a little bit longer, but I think it's also a little bit more narrow. So let me go ahead and bring out the last two comparison knives, and these are going to be the budget knives of the channel, and they're going to be changing up a little bit here. So first up, I am going to bring out the Kubi KU321. It has a 2.99 inch D2 steel. This used to be the Civivi Elementum spot. So the blade length, they were both 2.99. This one has a 4.29 inch Jade G10 handles with an overall length of 7.28 inches and weighing in at 3.32 ounces. So the Elementum was a little bit lighter, but the specs and the numbers for between the two are very, very close. So I wanted to kind of do this because this is a little bit more affordable. The other knife that I wanted to bring out is going to be the Civivi Elementum button lock. I think this is going to be also permanent, potentially permanent, because of the size and the price point and the fact that I'm kind of raising the budget. So this one's that under 50 and this one is like at 66, so kind of getting close to that $70 ceiling. That has a 3.47 inch 14C28N blade steel, has a 4.53 inch micarta handle with an overall length 8 inches, coming in at a very lightweight 3.19 ounces. So you can see these two are very close as far as how the dimensions are top to bottom and in length. I think they're very, very close in comparison. Let's go ahead and run these through the profile comparisons so that you guys can get a sense of just how thick the Drever is. So putting these up side by side, I think the Kubi is maybe a tad thicker. It's really hard to tell because of that contouring up there at the top. Both have the contouring, and as they come down, they get a little bit thinner towards the edges, as you can see here. But I think right here, probably going to say that the Kubi is just a hair thicker. And let's see here. The Elementum button lock is just a little bit thinner. Let's go ahead and check it out against the ultra thin Bug Out. No, Bug Out, you got to come out here and hold it to kind of make it level because of the contouring. So the Bug Out, definitely thinner. And then the K320 is going to be thicker at its head, but thinner at its base ever so slightly, and that's because it does have that V shape, which lends to the excellent ergonomics of that knife. The Yojimbo 2, which also represents the Para 3 G10 model, because they were the same in the comparison videos. So I think the Drever is slightly thicker at its thickest contour part, but then possibly, I don't know how to do this, a little awkward. It's still a little bit thicker, I think, yeah, because you can see a little bit of the blue over the top. I'm not going to bring the Para 3 out here because the contouring scales from Flatanium just add so much thickness, but it makes it feel really good in hand. So just a couple of quick comparison knives. I know I brought the Elementum out here earlier. I think that's a really good comparison to this knife. I also think, even though it's smaller, that the Bug Out is really good in comparison. Very similar profiles, a little bit thicker. This is on phosphor bronze washers. These two are on bearings, so that's a little bit different. But I think from an EDC perspective, that the Drever is a very good representation of what you probably want from that type of knife. Another one that's really good that I think compares really well, if you have a Gannett, which is an excellent front flipper, that's a very similar profile as well. And then just two more that I wanted to bring out here to share with you guys that I think compare very well is going to be the CJRB Scoria, which is very similar in size to the Feldspar. You can see that the CJRBs are going to be a little bit thicker in handle and a little bit thicker on the blade. So you have a little bit more slender profile coming off of that Drever. That's everything that I wanted to do from the comparisons. I think this is a very good first attempt from Oknife. I think that they're probably going to continue to make knives, and there's another model out there already that I really like. I just can't think of the name of it. It might be the Beagle. I'm not 100% sure. The action's really good. Again, N690 is not anything super impressive. I think for the price point, I would have liked to see either Nitro V 154cm or 14C28N. But again, I believe that Kaiser does a really good job on their N690. What you're going to get from N690 is you're going to get decent performance, really good cutting, very slicey, but the edges are probably not going to last as long as some of the other steels that I mentioned. But we'll see how long this lasts. This is actually going to be thrown in my vehicle, and the reason I do that is because when I go mountain biking and things of that nature, I tend to want to grab whatever knife is in the vehicle to use it for any type of zip ties that I might need to cut, any packages that I might need to open, things of that nature. So it's not like it's just thrown in there and it's floating around anywhere. There's a little holder that I have that holds the knife, a pen, and a flashlight just in case. So just like an organizer, but it's a little bit bigger and it fits in my car, and it has a notepad too in case I need to take any notes or jot some information down just in case. Overall, I think it's a good knife. I think it's got a lot of tough competition out there. So if you're an Olight fanatic or a diehard Olight fan, the Oknife might be a really great option, especially because they do a lot of combos where you can get both. And I think when they do that and they discount the knife and the flashlight for the combination purchase, that becomes a better deal. And I'm pretty sure that's what they're gearing towards selling these knives with. But on their own, there's a lot of better competition out there. That's my review. Thanks for your support. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for alert for future videos if you want. I'd love to have you join. Thanks to all of you out there supporting me. You guys are the best. I hope you have an awesome week, and until next time, peace.